Cage use. This short guide focuses on 3 parts: handling practices, maintenance issues, and accident history, with the aim of keeping you safe at work and stopping accidents in the workplace. This section will show you how to move and how not to move cages. We now show you how not to move a cage. Stop and think. Never pull cages, because if you do, you are more likely to hurt your back or injure another part of your body. We now show you how to move a cage. By pushing a cage, you do not use your back, you use the strong leg muscles, and so this helps avoid any serious injury to your body. You must never move 2 cages at the same time. Stop and think. Only move 1 cage at a time, because if you don't, you're more likely to hurt yourself and someone else. Remember, never pull a cage. Always push cages. Never move 2 or more at once. Hand positions. We now show you how you must not hold a cage. Stop and think. Never place your hands on the outside of a cage, because if you do, you are going to injure your hands. We now show you how to hold a cage correctly. By placing both hands in this type of position on a cage, you will avoid injury to your hands. Remember, never hold a cage on the outside edges. Always place your hands within the cage. Overloading. It's important to never overload cages. We now show you what can happen when a cage has been overloaded with stock, both on the inside and on top. Stop and think. Make sure you can see where you're going. Let's see what happens next. Remember, never overload cages. Catches. We now show you how not to open a cage door. Stop and think. Cage doors can spring open suddenly and hit you. We now show you how to open a cage door safely. By opening the cage door in this way, you will not be hit by the door. Beware of cage catches. You can easily hit your head on them. Stop and think. This can happen when you load or unload cages. Remember, always take care when loading and unloading stock from cages. Slopes and ramps. When moving cages up or down steep slopes or ramps on company premises, a mechanical device must be used. If you're not sure, please speak to your line manager. Maintenance. This section shows examples of broken cages and highlights why you should only use safe cages. Bottom panels. If a cage has any loose parts as shown on this cage, it must not be used. Stop and think. Send this cage for immediate repair. Any broken cage, as shown here, must not be used. Stop and think. Send this cage for immediate repair. All wheels must be able to move and be free from any debris. Stop and think. Send this cage for immediate repair. Any protruding metalwork, as shown here, can cause serious injury. Stop and think. Send this cage for immediate repair. Remember, do not use faulty cages. Accident history. Within Sunlight, cages have caused a number of injuries. Here are an example of the types of injuries caused by incorrectly using cages. Number 1. Opening the door incorrectly caused the operator's hand to break. Number 2. Moving a cage without proper care and attention lacerated the back of the operator's hand. Number 3. By quickly grabbing a moving cage, the operator slipped and pulled the cage on top of himself. Number 4. By moving an empty cage incorrectly, the operator injured his calf muscle. Number 5. By pulling a cage, this operator fractured his wrist. Number 6. When moving a cage down a slope, he lost control and ended up having surgery to his crushed hand. Remember, stop and think.